for you. Do you think the Gohan that Dabura fought is anywhere close to the power that Kid Gohan displayed against Cell?
You cut out for me. Pardon?
Oh, I said, do you believe the adult Gohan that Dabura fought is anywhere close to the power that Kid Gohan displayed against Cell?
So there's two parts to this. There's two camps we can talk about. If we're referring to base for base, yes, without the rage boost.
I don't
With
agree.
the rage boost, no.
I think he's weaker in general as a whole.
Well, that's just his claim. Do you have any evidence supporting that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. So, post your scan first that says you say the same truth.
Yeah, I'll get you the Japanese and the translations for him. No worries.
That's fine. Yep.
By the way, do I have perms for scans? I don't know. I haven't debated in here.
I'm pretty sure it's just fine. I think anyone can do it. I'm pretty sure.
I'll make sure you do.
Thank you. Okay, here you go. That's the page, and I'll give you the exact kanji. Okay, there you go. And I'll give you the 3 translations.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at VC scans.
Yeah, it's just scans. I didn't know. I didn't see the distinction.
Yeah, I got you. No problem.
And I'll get you the translations.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. So let me just give me like a minute to get my scan.
No worries. Feel free. Okay. And I'm just going to get you one more thing, so because I'm going to stick through this the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have another one. 1 second. I think you know where I'm going with this, so but I'll let you see.
Yeah, I got you. I think. Yep, found it.
There you go. It should be showing up.
Yeah, I understand the overall argument. Okay, let me post my scans and I found them. I put them in scans as well. So actually, I want to give equal interpretation to that other scan you just posted. So what it says is a few years after the fight with Cell, Gohan became a high school student. The strength hasn't changed since he was a boy. Probably because of Chi-Chi's influence or because he was lazy in training. So the way you interpret the scan to make it make sense into the conjunction of scans I have, right? Because they refer to him as getting weaker in the Daizenshu numerous of times in all the data books. Even characters like Vegeta and Goku acknowledge him getting weaker. So the way you should interpret this for it to make sense, because he clearly can't stay the same strength, is that his latent power has stayed the same, but not his actual current battle power they can access.
Okay.
And my reasoning for this
there's a problem. So there's a problem with what you said already.
I want to say my reasoning.
Well, I want to capitalize on it. So the problem that you're already doing
is explain my reasoning on that. I just kind of made a claim. I want to back it up though.
Yeah, but there's already something already being propagated there, and I already have to go through all this work of trying to, unpack it.
Like what exactly? Because
so when
they acknowledge the fact that hold on. They acknowledge the fact that if Gohan gets angry, he can't be as strong as he used to be, but he's not. So they're saying his latent power is still there, which is what the scan's in reference to. And that's
so when you say weaker,
evidence for.
So when you say weaker, weaker is in respect to something. Weaker with respect to what?
His old self. That's what they're comparing him to.
Yeah, but that doesn't entail that he himself is weaker base for base.
Yes, it does, because Vegeta states it.
So you understand he's basically reminiscing on the past and how he was, right?
No, he's talking about in
That has
general.
no, that doesn't have any bearing on how his power is right now.
I don't know if you read the scan, but it says because he can't achieve power through anger and having training. Training would be his base, and then like he's weaker from his base. And the scan that you posted is when he was from in school, and during that school time, Vegeta makes a statement that you have gone soft and you're out of shape, which would indicate that he's not at the strength peak as he used to be when he was a kid in base to base, because this is just without anger. And that's why my interpretation of your scan would still go through, that it's just referring to his latent potential, because they make mentions of his latent potential being the same by Goku and Vegeta. So therefore, it'll be in reference to that. That's what I'm saying. And that's the stance that has the most evidence. So that's the stance we should go with.
Well, not quite. So if you want to go into like if you want to go into like beats and statements, we can do that. It sounds like we want to go about that.
Okay, so I just went into all the statements showing that he's been stated weaker numerous of times.
Weaker with respect to his younger self, right?
Yeah, he's weaker to his old self. Yep, by a massive amount. Because
now that doesn't entail he himself is weaker now. There's no entailment
in reference to this is the Gohan who fought Dabura, so that's the one I'm comparing, right?
Okay, so I think you're misunderstanding me, Soul. So
go ahead.
I'm saying so when they say weaker with respect to his younger self, with fully enraged and all of his power.
And base.
But that doesn't tell me that this Gohan didn't lose strength. He kept the same strength.
Explained in detail.
He kept the same strength in base.
I explained it's in detail, specifically referring to base and anger, because they make a Daizenshuu statement saying he can't gain power from his anger, and he's weaker because he hasn't been training. You train your base when it gets stronger. Since he hasn't been training, they say he got weaker due to that. Therefore, his base got weaker. This is supported This is supported because when Vegeta's there, he makes a specific statement about Gohan being out of shape and weaker in his base form, right? And he wouldn't be comparing that base to Angry Rage 2 or something. He would just be comparing it to another base because he knows Gohan isn't angry in that specific moment. So he's just comparing base to base, and he's saying he's weaker regardless. So this interpretation I have for your scan still holds true, that it's only related to his latent power and not his actual current battle power they can access. But we can conclude the point because I feel like we're kind of going circulars.
Yeah, you can feel that way, but you're trying to make it sound like it's contradictory. Is that what I'm getting?
I never said the contradiction. I gave a different interpretation.
I'm not saying that's what you're saying.
So I'm telling you now that I'm giving a different interpretation to your scan, and not that it's contradiction.
That's not an answer, though. That's not an answer to what I asked you.
What did you ask? Did I miss the question?
I'm asking, do you think these scans are contradictory?
My scans or your scans?
The ones I'm about to bring up. So, like go
ahead and post something. Like, how was I supposed to answer a question if you didn't even post a scan?
There we go. I'm just gonna send that. I was gonna send the other ones too. But then, we delve into this.
So, what is that scan? What is that scan trying to prove?
Well, 1 second. There's another half to it.
Okay.
And then, what I was going to mention to you was this. Do you think these two scans are in conflict with one another? That's what I was going to ask you.
Well, I don't know. What did he give the translation to that scan?
It's uploading. Hopefully it's...
Okay.
Yeah, these things are on a Google Drive. That's probably why they take a little bit longer to load up.
Yeah, that's fine. Just tell me when it's posted. I'll just read it real quick and make my reputation. Transformation is good in practice, so I don't have as much fighting power as when I defeated Cell. While I'm telling you, he transforms to a saying against the bad guys. Okay. So what is this? So is the statement saying
that's just one? That's just one. I'm not done. That's just one. Done.
Okay.
Yeah, there's multiple interpretations here.
Interpretations. Okay, sure. Go into that.
There we go. None of them gives contradictory evidence. It doesn't say it's simultaneously the case and not the case that his strength had not changed since he was a boy. That would be contradictory.
Says he doesn't have the same fighting power as when he defeated Cell. He's weaker. They also refer to him as weaker from the statements from Goku and Vegeta, and it's not as if I'm only using that one scan. I have
it's not
4 different scans verbatim saying him. Hold on, what?
That's what I'm trying to push here. It's not a contradiction. It's not giving the statement.
I never claim contradiction. I think I don't know if you're trying to strawman me because I never claim contradiction.
Not strawmanning you. I'm just literally clarifying what it is that's being said here.
Yeah, it says he's getting weaker. What's your point here?
I'm saying it's not a contradiction in the sense that, one would take a contradiction to mean.
Okay, so I find that statement you just made confusing and vague, and I don't think this supports your argument at all. So you're just showing me alternate translations to that one scan compared to my other 3 scans and statements from the main continuity and other guides just saying he's weaker in general. I don't see how this is a refutation at all. But once again, we can just conclude the point. You kind of already agreed that he's weaker in general.
Yeah, that's entirely up to you. If you want to do that,
because you kind of already agreed he's just weaker in general, and the statements you just provided me just says he's weaker. So I don't know. So let's go conclusions. You can go first.
Conclusions for this point? You're confusing me. What?
This point. Yeah, this point.
So I guess conclusion for this point. Yeah. So for the scans and the interpretations I had provided, I was able to prove that there's no contradictory evidence. It's just one has to go through these mental gymnastics and one has to bend it to their own very narrow-minded interpretation to actually get to said conclusion. One would have to do all these very these linguistic linguistic tricks, for lack of a better term. One has to do these just a bunch of wordplay, trying to interpret it and only to one said interpretation. So that's all I really have to say here.
Okay, so in conclusion, I was basically on the assertive to say that Gohan has been weaker by the time he goes into the Buu saga because he hasn't been training and he doesn't have access to his anchor. I provided numerous scans stating this to be the case. I gave equal interpretation to what his scans said, right? About how he stayed the same strength, and all the other scans, all of them say that he's been weaker. I explained that this would be in reference to his latent power and not his current battle power that he has access to. And this is my interpretation was supported by the evidence that Vegeta makes a specific statement in reference to base, saying that Gohan is not as strong as whatchamacallit. I mean, he's just out of shape, yeah, which indicates he's weaker and stuff, which I did say. And then I supported that, right? Because the Daizenshi statement that I showed specifically says he's weaker because he hasn't been training and because he hasn't had his anger and training, which means the training lowered his power, which means it lowered his base power because if you don't train, right, your strength is not going to stay the same logically, right? And I think I gave a lot of preponderance of evidence and reasoning to support my interpretation of his scan and overall that Gohan is weaker in general. So I think I won that point that he's just massively weaker, right? Because, yeah.
Hold on. I just want to get a gist. So that whole point was just whether Gohan was weaker or not.
Yeah, it's just linguistic play, basically. It's retarded.
Okay. So you don't have to give your judgments now. We can move on, but
I just wanted to know what it was.
Wait, so y'all have
what he's going with.
So y'all have 2 different interpretations, right? So Soul's interpretation is that the only thing that stayed the same is Gohan's latent potential, and that
it's a very myopic view on what's being said here.
Oh, okay. And your interpretation is that what stayed the same is their battle power, his base. Okay.
Yeah. And he's only weaker in virtue because he doesn't have access to his anger. That doesn't indicate to me that
okay, so I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but I also show scans that it's in reference to base form as well, but yeah.
I understand what both of you are saying now.
And in Legend saying that, like, Soul's jumping through these mental gymnastics to get to his conclusion, that's referring to latent ability, and not just their base. And is that correct, Legend?
It's just a semantical game, basically, yeah.
Okay. Alright, I just want to make sure me and Gray understand.
Yeah,
All right,
continue.
So what else did you want to bring up? Yeah.
Are you aware Gohan and Dabura are confirmed to be relative to each other in the Daisenshu?
Yeah, and then guess what happens?
They're still relative? Yeah.
No.
I know. Yep, that's exactly what happened, yeah.
So look what happens here. So this is what happens. So you're aware of what Dabura's feats are, right?
Yeah, being relative to a massively weaker Gohan, yeah.
So I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but remember before Gohan leaves to go confront Babidi and Dabura, you know what happens?
Remind me.
So I'm gonna send you the scan just so you don't think I'm full of it. So there it is.
Did you already go to the bank? I need you to go.
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
I'm
it's
doing
already
something.
2 o'clock.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my phone was cutting in and out.
So, yeah, continue.
So yeah, I'm gonna post like the panel of that and the things following soon after.
Whoever's gonna take you, so hurry up.
Sure, that's fine. I'll respond to when you're done, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so here's that. And then here's what follows soon after, about a few pages after that.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I have a question. So, you do agree in their initial fight they were relative to each other, correct?
Not really. We didn't really see
so
what Dabura is fully capable of because he was holding back the entire time. You understand the entire narrative. You understand the entire narrative of what the intention was. No, I'm asking you a question.
I can't hear your question. I was talking, and then you just interrupted me to say a question. Like,
yeah, I was about to say one thing, and then I was going to ask a follow-up question.
Hold on. You said you disagree that they were relative in the initial fight. Why?
Because it's very blatant in what the show was trying to portray.
In
what the manga was, rather. Sorry.
In that fight?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that fight, you think
Dabura is basically supposed to be drawing the fight out intentionally to get Majin Buu to be resurrected.
No, I don't.
And then soon after, he's probably gonna have to fight Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah, could you prove that?
Yeah, so I'll bring this up. As well.
Because the goal for Dabura is to deal as much damage as possible to Gohan. Being suppressed or limiting himself would make that a lot more difficult than it needs to be. So that's why I don't think he was suppressed. And I also don't think he has a reason to prolong the fight because he knows he has to fight Goku and Vegeta eventually. So he would like to kill Gohan now, then kill Goku Vegeta later, as soon as possible. Makes no sense.
Yeah, he has to be conservative with his energy, dude. He's not going to go all out right.
Why is he conservative? Because the way you're trying to portray it, right, is if he was massively stronger than Gohan, then he would have beat him no difficulty, even if he was suppressed. But that's clearly not the case because we see them fight relative to each other, and we see Dabura blatantly show fatigue against Gohan. And I'll post scans for that. So if you look in the Daisenshu, it refers to them having an evenly match, and that's showing that they're relative to each other in power. And I'll post a manga panel showing that they are relative to each other.
So you understand how the Daisenshu works when it comes to like battle history and all that? This is what Daisenshu
talks about a certain point in time. Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah. So once upon a time they were equals.
You just said they weren't. Now you're saying they are. Are you conceding to that?
No.
You just said, I don't think they are even in that fight specifically. Now you just said, once upon a time they were.
Yeah.
So you agree in that fight they were even?
Initially, yeah, and then he starts getting a little bit more
initially
serious.
or the whole fight. I'm not like just
Initially.
clarify. Initially, okay. I think like if you look at the panel, that's literally close to the end of the fight. And then I sent you still calling.
Yeah, and then take into account what Goku said. Don't just pick and choose.
Like no, we're just talking about the fight right now. I don't want to move on to another point. Like let's talk about
you have to look at it holistically. So I don't know what you're trying to do
I'm telling you, right? They fight relative to each other because throughout that whole time, Gohan's able to land attacks. He's not getting dominated at all. And then that I sent you is reforming my interpretation of the events, showing that they are relative to each other. And we see that Dabura is blatantly sweating during the fight, showing that he's strenuous and definitely not suppressed to a high degree, even if he was, which I don't think he was at all.
Okay, did you want to say more?
No, that's my initial point. That they're relative. Did I essentially confirm my interpretation? And they fight relative. I'm about to post the scans in the fight itself. One sec.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know if you heard me say this or whatever, but yeah, they were relative at that point in time.
So during the entire duration of the fight.
So because all right, I'll bring up an example. So I'm pretty sure you're aware of what the Boo-Tank's entry is, right? I'm just going to give an example.
Boo-Tank's entry?
Yeah. Are you aware of that one? Like the strongest
entry? Are you sure?
Boo-Tanks.
I don't know about it at all.
So it says like the strongest / wisest Majin has like been born or whatever. We wouldn't say that Boo-Tanks from there on end is like the strongest and most wisest, would we? Because then Buhan.
No. Listen. I'm not trying to say that these. I'm talking about this fight specifically, right? And I'm not. I know you're trying to argue Dabura like was suppressed, which we can get into later. But I'm just saying in this fight, throughout the whole duration, they're relative to each other. That's all I'm saying throughout the whole fight. Do you have an issue with that? Because it seems like you're talking about at this point in time, but like you're not talking about the whole fight. So it's like it's weird. It's confusing me.
Yeah, so it goes back to what I said earlier. We have to look at things holistically. Don't just pick and choose.
I'm not picking. When have I picked and choose? What? I literally just showed you scans of them referring to them as relative.
But then the scans that I posted show otherwise.
What scan did you post that shows that they're not relative?
So look under the one that you posted. It's volume 38, chapter 445. That one. Look under it.
So he dodge an attack?
Yeah, Dabura's.
Why does that mean? Dabura dodge an attack. Why does that mean he's not relative? Why can't I dodge an attack and be relative? You know, Goku, Vegeta dodge all their attacks all the time, and they're like literally stated equal to each other. Why is that? Why can't they be relative and dodge an attack?
So the whole point I'm trying to illustrate to you and trying to get across
that dodge an attack, therefore he's stronger.
Increased speed means increased power. No, that's not what Vegeta says.
I don't agree at all. So what happens?
That's how power works in Dragon Ball.
Wait.
That's literally how power works in Dragon Ball. So I
just wait. Let me finish. Okay. So you can increase your power, and that can increase your speed. But having higher speed does not inherently give you higher power. Because we see with Disco,
you're the one making the claim.
No, you made the claim that having higher power equates to having higher speed. That was your claim.
Unless shown otherwise, stated otherwise.
Hold on. So you're, oh my gosh. So your basis is that because well first of all that's not even true, right? Because we see Dispo being faster than a lot of characters.
Wait, why are you bringing up Dispo? I thought this was just Z.
I know it's Zisso is a part of the series. What do you mean?
This is a Z topic exclusively.
Okay, it doesn't matter if it's a Z topic. I can give examples with Dragon Ball Super. What do you mean? Are you saying I'm only limited to Z? Is that what you're claiming?
This is a Z topic. Would you agree?
It doesn't matter if it's a Z topic. That's not a reason why I can't use Dispo as an example for why this is invalid.
It's a yes or no question, Saul. Come on.
Yeah, I clearly am on the offensive of what you're saying, and I'm disagreeing. Is that not clear?
Right.
Am I not articulating this right?
Yeah, maybe. I would say probably.
Yeah, so I'm clearly disagreeing that having higher speed means you have higher power. That's what I'm disagreeing with. And I gave an example of a character who has higher speed but has less AP than other Dragon Ball characters. So therefore, this is not absolute truth. Therefore, you would have to prove in this case. And even then, even if he did dodge his attack, dodging an attack does not mean you're not relative to each other. And since this is after the initial fight with Gohan, this would support the fact that Dabura wasn't even that surprised. So like he barely dodged the attack. Look at it; it's so close.
Yeah,
to him.
another thing. I don't know if you caught on to this. I don't know if you were paying attention when I said this, but he had a sensu bean, which would indicate that there's a chance that he probably got stronger too. Because when you take a sensu bean,
Can you prove that?
I'm saying there's a possibility. I'm not saying.
Okay, I'm not interested in possibility. I'm interested in actuality. Can you prove that he got
Okay.
stronger?
So, let's see here. So the whole thing I was gonna say was, you understand how the Saiyans work, no?
Yeah.
Through battle or through like near-death experiences, they would get stronger.
Not all the
By
time.
varying amounts, we can't say, but he did
not
get
all the
stronger.
time. There's examples in Dragon Ball where they don't get stronger even after getting their ass beat consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna prove it happens in this instance. Yeah.
Literally what Goku said. Did you not see what he said?
Goku didn't say Gohan got stronger. Where does that
No,
say?
just look at what he said. Just literally look at what he said.
Where? Up, where?
So, let's see. It's the... So he gives him the sensu bean. He says, oh wait, I have more sensu. You should eat one. You used up a lot of your stamina. He's like, oh, thanks. He eats it. And then as he's done eating, he goes on to say, get angry, Gohan. Remember the time you fought Cell? And bring out all of the power that you have.
You just indirectly supported my point again. They're talking about his latent potential just right there, and not his current battle potential, which is why they say get angry again. So that doesn't support that Gohan's getting stronger, because he literally verbatim in the same fight says, I can't be the way I was like then when I was a kid. So he didn't get stronger at all. Are you not aware of that? Do I need to post that?
If you want to post it, sure.
Yeah, sure, I'll post that. Just give me a minute to find it. Yeah, I got it. I found it already. Let me just post that. Also, another thing I want to add on. Yeah, so right there it says, I can't be the way I was then. I am angry, but still. So basically, he's saying he's still not at the power as he was when he was a kid. Also, I want to say one more thing. That, right here. So Goku makes a statement that he still believes that during the initial fight, this is after the initial fight, they just still fight each other, and he says, Gohan still has a chance. So if Goku thinks Gohan has a chance to beat Dabura, he has to be relative to him at least.
Yeah.
You agree with that? Okay, cool.
I just said yeah.
Okay, cool. You agree with that? Fine. So. Anything else you want to go over? I think I provided like preponderance of evidence. Well, actually, I'll post a few more scans to support what I'm saying before we go.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I posted a lot more. Let's be fair here.
Yeah.
If we were going to talk about preponderance, I think that's clearly where I'm heading.
Yeah. One second. Just gonna post some few scans real quick, showing that they're just fighting relative to each other. Also, I don't think you posted scan that proves that the board is above or not relative, so I don't think that really works for you. But, yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if you're just disregarding statements outright, but, you know, I
don't
see
see any
statements
statement that shows that the board is stronger. Maybe you could just tell me again, real quick.
I'll send it. It probably didn't send. That was my mistake.
Because I don't, all you showed me was the Goku statement. And then, Dabura says he can take all three of them, which is false, because we know all three of them can beat Dabura up. So, he just made that statement out of arrogance. So, yeah. So, that's not... And, obviously we see him fight relative to another Gohan, so which would prove the statement that he can take on all three of them in their Super Saiyan 2 forms. So, yeah, I just say that statement is just out of arrogance.
I'll get you as well.
Okay. My child, you'll be turned to stone. Okay. Are you making a point right now, or?
I'm just bringing up what didn't get sent earlier, because I was sending a whole bunch of stuff and it probably didn't send.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you trying to prove with these scans?
I'm saying statements are usually okay unless directly contradicted.
Yeah. I think these statements are contradicted. Did I cut out?
No, you're good.
Okay, so good. So I think the statements. Well, there's two ways to take this, right? I think it's either in reference to perfect cell and not super perfect cell, or just straight up contradicting.
So when they say cell, they mean obviously cell in general, not just one
so
cell.
since it's in general, that means it can be any version of cell.
So yeah, this would include super perfect.
So I'm saying it's perfect cell that they're talking about, not super perfect cell.
All right, so when someone says you're stronger than Gohan, remember that Vegeta statement that he says to Goku when he transforms into that Super Saiyan 2 state? He says you're a lot stronger than Gohan. We wouldn't say that's just, referring to base Gohan. They're referring to all of them. So I'm not sure what you're trying to do here.
Vegeta, Goku, and Gohan. Yeah, he's saying that Goku and Vegeta is stronger than Gohan. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm saying what you're doing here is you're trying to be selective with what they mean.
I'm not being selective. I gave another interpretation to the statement. I think it's in reference to perfect cell. You have yet to give me evidence on why it's referring to super perfect cell.
So I'll give an example. So we're still obviously
wait. Is this example going to give evidence?
Yes, it's an example with evidence. I'm literally going to post it. Come on, dude.
Yeah, provide me the evidence. Yeah, I want to see this because I have evidence myself of why it's perfect cell.
So when we're talking about character entries, things that they say about certain characters, they're often with regards to whether they surpassed someone, who they're relative to, etc. So this is the one. This is about Mr. Gohan. It's just an example.
Okay.
I get that for you.
Yeah, you're aware in the Daizenshuu, adult Gohan and then you're about to post Ultimate Gohan are the same character but in different forms. Therefore, the Daizenshuu makes a distinction between different forms of characters. Therefore, whenever they say the name Gohan, it doesn't have to be referring to a specific Gohan. It can be any Gohan, really.
Yeah, they talk in overall generalities, with the Mystic Gohan thing I'm about to bring up.
So basically, any interpretation of what a character could be referring to would just be valid if backed up, right, with evidence or whatever. So
it's basically
you're aware why. Yeah, you're aware why Goku compares him to Cell, right?
Yeah, basically they I think it was Supreme Kai. They were talking about how he's so surprised and how shocked these Earthlings, quote unquote, are compared to Babidi's minions.
That didn't answer my question. I asked you, do you know why?
I'm giving you further exposition on what was.
Yeah, I know the exposition though. Can you just answer my question?
That being?
Yeah, why? Do you know why Goku compared him to Cell? And that's going to answer to you why it's referring to Perfect Cell, depending on how you answer that.
So the reason why he brought up Perfect Cell is like a benchmark. I take it to mean.
No,
these guys
okay. I'm saying it's talking about Perfect Cell power, if it's your interpretation about Super Perfect Cell, it would just be contradicted for fates. But yeah, I'm saying it's Perfect Cell, that they're talking about.
It would be the last version of Cell. Why would Goku backtrack?
When did he? What? He just agreed. Okay.
Maybe I'm getting lost with what you're saying. Maybe that's
okay. Yeah. Okay, so you kind of didn't even answer my question. Are you gonna answer the question?
So, from what I'm gathering, what you're asking me is, do I know why he brought up Cell? Just so we're clear.
Wow. You know what Dabura did to make him compare to Cell?
To kill Kibito. He killed Kibito, and that's why he said
that. Perfect word. You're aware Kibito is complete fodder compared to even Gohan, right? And then this Gohan shouldn't even be close to its old self. And therefore, killing Kibito would be a perfect cell level feat and not a super perfect cell level feat. Therefore, Goku's saying he's relative to perfect cell based on that feat that's been presented. That's the evidence that it's perfect.
Wait,
cell.
when was the last time Goku had sensed or even had seen Cell?
When he was alive, yeah. And then
but we know that Cell
exploded and killed him. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, but we know that Goku can sense ki from other planes of existence.
Okay, just because a character can do something, that doesn't mean they did do something correct or incorrect.
Well, why do you think he said, Gohan, you can win? You can beat him in that beam struggle.
Because he's trying to be a supported father. Like if my kid was going against a machine android who's trying to kill everyone, and he's the only hope the universe has, I would try to motivate him to do anything he can. I don't know about you, but that's how I would interpret that.
Well, it's not just solely that. He's also sensed Cell's power.
Yeah, perfect Cell's power. Yeah, I know.
You mean super perfect Cell's power?
I don't know if he sensed super perfect, so can you prove that?
Yeah, obviously he wouldn't be worried if he,
Wait. So what's your evidence?
So literally, he makes no cautious statements regarding Cell's power because he's not very.
Sense him, yeah.
Sorry, you cut out.
I just said because he didn't sense him, that's why he's not making any statements on his power.
Not only that, but even if he did, he wouldn't have to worry. He's already sensed Gohan's full capability. It's better than
he sensed Gohan's power, so he doesn't know how strong Super Perfect Cell is. Correct or incorrect?
Sorry?
So I just asked you a question. You know what? He sensed Gohan's power, but he doesn't. Okay. He didn't sense Super Perfect Cell power. Therefore, he doesn't know how powerful Super Perfect Cell is. So the only cell he has in reference that he actually knows the power of is Perfect Cell, which is why he's saying Perfect Cell in this statement, and not is in reference to Perfect Cell in this statement, but not Super Perfect Cell.
Okay.
Okay, as in you agree, or okay as you have a refutation?
Yeah. So my question would be, do you have anything that'll points towards that, indicating that?
I already provided evidence. Dabura has a perfect cell.
Is it in scans?
Is it in scans? Because I thought you accepted it. I didn't. Okay, I'll just post it real quick. That's fine. Let me just get that. Oh man. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll post it real quick.
I'm gonna have to stop this.
Yeah, so this is where he kills Kibito. Kibito is complete fodder to even Gohan and all the Saiyans in their base forms. And then, they all refer to Dabura as, freaking pathetic. They don't even consider him a threat. Vegeta and Goku do. Goku, anyway. So, that's why since this is a perfect cell level feat, and then Goku makes this statement comparing him to Cell, this will be referring to perfect cell more than likely than super perfect cell. And that will be supported by that feat. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the whole thing that you have to keep in mind here is the entire narrative of how Dragon Ball works with...
Wait, what narrative?
The narrative that whatever threat that came before it would probably be
that's not true all the time. That's not true all the time. That's not true all the time, and that mainly only applies to main villains. Broly isn't stronger.
Wait. Can y'all I just want to clarify this. Are y'all moving on from the fact that Goku didn't sense Cell? Because it sounds like y'all are gonna go on another branch.
It seems like he moved on from that. I think.
If there's a refutation to that, do it now. I don't want to have all these open-ended, arguments.
Yeah, so you can't prove that he sensed Cell at all. You can't prove it.
The narrative supports it.
I'm not interested. Well, what narrative? What narrative? Yeah, tell me the narrative, because the narrative's subjective. Because I give another narrative, then your whole thing doesn't work.
So the narrative would suggest that Goku's trying to pass on his torch to his son, right? Correct or incorrect?
Yeah,
So,
sure.
yeah, so he's basically depending on him to like basically get the Earth out of like whatever predicament it's in. In this case, it's the predicament that Cell's going to destroy it along with the entire solar system.
Okay. Yeah. So what does that mean? He sent Cell.
Mainly because like if we're taking into account like the feats, aka the beam struggle, it was if we're gonna accept guides, the EML goes on to state that he had launched that power with all of his might. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, so once again, that doesn't prove that Goku knows how powerful Super Perfect Cell is. Because all you're trying to tell me is that he was trying to pass on the torch, and then like he knows Cell is a serious threat. Knowing someone's a threat doesn't mean you know how powerful they are, not inherently. And like once again, due to Occam's razors, right? If you're going to make the assumption that he sent Cell without any evidence, because you're not really giving me evidence, you're just telling me like what the events and like nothing that leads to the conclusion of he actually knows how powerful Super Perfect Cell is, then I'm just gonna say that it's just in reference to Perfect Cell, because that's actually a cell he knows the power of, and that's been shown because he actually sensed him. And then like through what Dabura did, right? Like it would be the feat of a Perfect Cell, but not Super Perfect Cell, right? So that's my stance on that. I don't think you gave enough. I don't think you gave evidence for that. That's Super Perfect Cell that he sensed.
Is there anything you wanted else to bring up, or?
So are you like dropping the point? Because I would like to go back to why Gohan's relative to Dabura.
If you want, you can do that.
Okay, cool. So I guess I'll show you the scan.
Wait, Legend, are you dropping it, or you think you said what you had to say?
Well, with the narrative thing, I didn't really go into it because he tried saying that
say what you gotta say, and then we can move on, because I don't want you to drop something you don't want to drop.
So with the narrative, it's basically goes such as this. So we know that Goku is dead. He's no longer the defender of Earth at this point. Now that status is resides within his son. So Goku now has to be like the one who's giving him back his power. In virtue of like courage and giving him the words of encouragement.
That doesn't.
So don't interrupt him. Just let him say what he has to say, and then.
Oh, you're not done yet? Okay, go ahead.
I mean, to be fair, so you probably have talked a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, continue, go ahead. Yeah. If you're not done, I'm not done. Don't.
Alright, so, yeah, with that part, I was going to say, and then the last part is, whether or not he knows how strong he became, how strong Cell became, would be just basically overshadowed by, the inner depths of how Goku knows how strong Gohan is. And that's basically overshadowed by that. Whether or not he knows how strong Cell got from that, Zenkai is besides the point.
Hold on. Let me understand what you're saying. So you're saying it doesn't matter whether he knows how strong Cell is. It's just that he knows how strong Gohan is. So he could like basically
he just overshadows him in virtue of that.
Alright, so I understand what you're saying. Alright. You guys can move on. I just don't want to.
Yeah, I want to make my counter to that. So once again, right, him knowing how powerful Gohan is does not mean he knows how powerful Super Perfect Cell is inherently. And I think it's been shown, right, throughout the series that two characters in fight relative but not necessarily relative to each other. So like I don't think you can base it off of it. Goku can base it off anything. And then since he doesn't know the power of Super Perfect Cell, and then in the statement that he's comparing Cell to the Dabura, it'll be referenced to Perfect Cell because that's the cell he has the most knowledge on and would have a gauge of. And I gave evidence on why it's Perfect Cell, while you didn't really give evidence on why it's Super Perfect Cell. You just kind of said it should be. I don't think that's anything supportive based on what we see through the feats that's presented through Dabura, because I think he only has Perfect Cell level feats at best. But like we can move on. I can get into why Dabura and go on a relative again, unless you have something else to say.
I think we already went over that, the whole Dabura and Gohan being.
Well, actually,
right?
I wanted to post a few more scans to support what I'm saying.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so Dabura kicks him. I mean, not Dabura, freaking Gohan kicks him, makes him go flying. Like that's a clear indication that they're relative. Gohan, while shocked, which would be indicated by I forget what the surprise marks. I don't even know what they're called, but yeah, that would indicate that he's surprised, a little bit off guarded here. Yet he's still able to react to the sword, and then snap it full force. Now the reason why this is actually really important is because Dabura is coming out with his own force plus the mass of the sword plus gravity, and then even through all of that, Gohan is still able to overpower that force and just snap it all the way back, which would definitely, absolutely show relativeness to each other.
Well, that would be true, but you're forgetting something. You remember when Gohan immediately does that?
Yeah, Dabura is sweating in this panel, which shows that he's exerting himself a lot.
Wait, sweating? Sweating, are we talking about in that exact same frame or the one before that?
Wait, the one before what?
So I see two of them here. So, one. So there's Gohan trying to hold the sword in place, and then there's Dabura on the left sweating. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, I'll show. I can screenshot it in a smaller detail, but yeah, he's sweating.
No, I see it. I see it.
Oh, you see it? Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead. You made a claim. Go ahead, yeah.
Well, I was going to say something. I don't think it was quite necessarily a claim.
Oh, it wasn't a point? Okay. So yeah, that's the feats showing they're relative to each other. And then your Daizenshi statement showing statements that they're relative to each other. And then I'll ask you, what's the evidence that the board was suppressed, real quick, and then we can just conclude that point.
So, the first thing I wanted to say was the panel where it shows Dabura basically sweating. It's more so out of nervousness / shock. He wouldn't expect him to break the sword.
Could you prove that?
Yeah. So look at the one above that. You see that?
The one above, right?
Yeah, the one above, the one where he's sweating.
Yeah, sure. What's wrong with that?
So we don't see any sweat then, and then
all that would mean, right, is that he sweated later.
And then miraculously, we see him just sweating in the next one. That's more so out of nervousness.
No, it's not. So you're saying Dabura, one of the most arrogant characters on the show, is feeling nervousness against someone who's weaker than him? Apparently, at least that's what you're claiming.
In this specific instance.
So what's happening, right?
You know how sweat is portrayed in anime, right?
I don't know really, if I'm being honest, but in this specific case, right?
So I'll tell you. So basically, sweat is basically
I wasn't done.
Something that's anxious. Something's anxious to the.
I wanted to respond to your claim that you said about the whole sweat. He wasn't sweating before. So we know that when they caught the sword, that whole moment lasted for a few seconds, and then throughout that clash, they could just be sweating later on, and then that's why he's sweating in that panel. There's no indication of nervousness or fear. And Dabura, that's out of character for Dabura to be afraid, because we know that Dabura is very arrogant. And sweating out of surprise against a character that you think is weaker than weaker than Dabura, doesn't really work for your argument at all. It's kind of inconsistent, because if they're not, because it actually supports my statement, because if they are relative to each other, that would support the reason of why he actually is a little bit afraid of Gohan and he's sweating, because then he's fighting someone who's on his same tier who can actually deal damage to him. And then if we go with your interpretation that Dabura is a lot more stronger than Gohan, at least that's what you think, and then he's sweating randomly against someone who should be complete fodder to him, it just makes no sense. So my interpretation of this would make a lot more sense given the context. And then even after this whole sword clash thing, right, Goku still says Gohan can beat him. So they have to be relative due to that. And that's my response. Go ahead and make your counter.
So, what was the first thing that you said? I forgot the first part.
I just said...
I heard the last part, just not the first part.
Yeah, so the first thing I said was, right, we know when he got the sword, right? That lasted for like a few seconds, and during those few seconds of force that were being given to each other, he could have gained the sweat through exerting himself a lot in that moment, and that's why he's sweating, and not because of nervousness or fear. Because if your interpretation is that Dabura is a lot stronger than Gohan, he shouldn't be nervous of someone who's performing a feat that shouldn't be that impressive to him, so that doesn't make sense. But my interpretation is that he could be, if you're going with the fact that he's afraid or nervous about Gohan, it would make more sense that he's nervous about Gohan because they're relative to each other, and the fact of the matter is that Gohan is actually on the same tier of power as Dabura, and that's why he would be nervous and sweating with that logic, right? Which is just a second interpretation. I generally just think he's sweating because he's just exerting himself a lot. Because if you are relative, like, you would be exerting yourself pretty much evenly, and I don't think you gave any evidence to support that Dabura would be nervous against Gohan if he's supposedly a lot stronger. So that whole statement you made doesn't make sense to me.
Nervous in that instance, I said.
Why is he nervous in that instance if he's stronger than Gohan, in your opinion?
Well, simply because, like, we know that this Gohan was, like, more or less, even with Dabura?
Yeah, because they're relative to each other. Why, like, yeah, so he can't be stronger if he's already intimidated by Gohan. Power. And actually, what Gohan demonstrated is a feat that supports the fact that he's actually above Dabura, because he's taking Dabura's force, plus the mass of the sword, and gravity against him, and snap that force upward. Which would actually support the fact that Gohan's stronger than Dabura. Just massively weaker Gohan.
You said it's smashing the blade upwards? Is that what you said?
He's able to take the force, put it upwards, and snap it. It's in the same panel, yeah. He said, like, to be able to snap a force that powerful, you have to be like a relative or above that person at that point, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
So the thing I was gonna say after that was, I think it was the last thing with what you said. So that last and final panel where they're at a standstill, you see Gohan huffing and puffing, and you just see Dabura there just tossing away his sword. It's basically useless to him, and he's basically just waiting on Gohan's next move.
Okay, what is this supposed to prove?
It's proving the fact that, he's not as tired as you're making him out to be. It's more so...
We literally... Hold on.
Literally huffing and puffing.
Yeah, the reason why Gohan is huffing and puffing is because throughout the initial fight, he was just fighting normal base Dabura, and then now he's dealing with Dabura's natural force plus the mass of the sword and gravity against him. So he's dealing with the most force that he has ever had to in this entire fight, and that's why he's tired. And also, another factor I don't think you took into account is that the Super Saiyan 2 form does drain your stamina. And Gohan, since he is rusty, in that form as well, he would be losing stamina a lot faster than Dabura. That doesn't make it so that Dabura... I'm talking. That doesn't make it that Dabura is not tired as well. And then if we look at the panel, we see freaking HF all around Dabura as well. So like that would indicate that they're both tired. He's just standing up straight. That's all. And then like afterwards, actually, I think I'll post a panel of this.
So who do you think is more exhausted? Someone huffing and puffing?
I'm not saying Gohan's not more exhausted. Gohan's more exhausted, but I explained why he was more exhausted in this instance. It's because he's dealing with more force he ever had than throughout the fight, and progressively is losing stamina because of his Super Saiyan 2 form.
And we know that this Dabura is trying to be conservative with his stamina because you're aware of his.
Y'all already went over that argument already about the conserving stamina and stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all have any really new arguments, or y'all gonna keep talking about this sword feat?
I have one last thing.
All right.
So if you look at the panel I just posted, Gohan is literally standing up tall and just chilling. This is literally just one panel after they did the sword thing. So he's just chilling. He was just tired for a second, and then boom, he's back to normal. So like Gohan's not as tired as you think either, and then he's ready to back fight, and then even Goku thinks he can beat Dabura. So therefore, it would support the fact that they are relative to each other.
Whether or not Goku and Vegeta can take out Dabura is a separate issue.
No. That's not what I said.
Gohan.
I said Goku thinks Gohan can beat Dabura.
No, I misheard you then. I misheard you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, anything left to go over, or are you good?
Yeah. So basically, I wanted to bring up the whole the huffing and puffing thing one last time.
Okay.
All right, be
So
swift.
we know. Sorry.
I said be swift because I've been on this point
Yeah.
for like.
So you're aware of that the after image technique he has? It's not an after image in the
I know.
the
It's just
traditional
magic. Don't worry.
sense. Yeah, it's magic. Yeah. So if anything, he'd be this Gohan would be a lot more tired than this, Dabura, just given what you've shown.
Yeah. But I just showed you a panel right after the sword clash that Gohan's just chilling and not breathing hysterically as he was before. So that shows that he's not a massive loss in stamina. And I explained how the reason why he was tired initially was because he was dealing with more force than he ever had to exert against Dabura. Because Dabura was just going normal force, and now he's doing normal force plus the sword plus gravity against him, which would make Gohan tired in that specific moment. But then he gained back his stamina in just seconds, and then boom, he's ready back to fight. And Goku still thinks he can beat Dabura, which would equate to the fact that he's not that tired as you think, and they are relative to each other. Because Goku's not an idiot; he can obviously tell who can win a fight. So that's the basis. And then the Daizenshuu is confirming twice that they're relative to each other in this fight.
Yeah, relative within that certain time frame.
Okay, so we can move on to why you think they're not relative outside of the fight, even though I think they're relative regardless. Go ahead.
So if Goku says Dabura is stronger or as strong initially, and then he says, "Oh, he's stronger than what I initially thought," what's the problem with that?
False.
What's the problem? What's the problem there?
Yeah, there's multiple problems. Well, first, I already explained that it's in reference to Perfect Cell, and I also said even if it wasn't in reference to Perfect Cell and it was in reference to Super Perfect Cell, I say that would get contradicted through the feats. And thirdly, the whole you're tougher than I thought, that's in reference to his magic, not his physical stats.
Well, even then, it would just be a battle of attrition if you want to make it that.
Cell has infinite stamina, so I mean,
Is that why he was getting tired against Goku?
He was never tired against Goku.
Why was he sweating? Why was he huffing, saying...
Hold on.
They were going at it for a long time.
Hold on. You're aware that I sent you confirmed he has the infinite energy reactor, right? Which means he has infinite stamina.
Right, but that doesn't change the fact that he was tired. He was getting tired out.
So I'm saying when he's sweating, it does not mean he's tired.
Let me get you it really quick.
I'll also post a scan that he has infinite energy. One sec. Where is it? Yeah, alright, found it. Cool. I'll post this real quick. Okay, so in scans, you can see right there is that yeah, it says Cell took over infinite energy generator. He can use it it says he can use it as well, which means he has infinite stamina as well. Therefore he has infinite stamina. Him sweating could be for any other reason. It doesn't have to mean he's tired. And like he literally didn't show any fatigue at all. It's like we've seen Android 17 and Android 18 sweat in battles, but that doesn't mean they don't have infinite stamina. So like you claiming that because he's sweating means he's like doesn't have infinite stamina doesn't prove anything, because Android 17 and 18 sweat, but they still have infinite stamina. Yeah.
Trying to see if I can get you the scan really quick.
What scan are you trying to get?
The one where
of Cell sweating.
Goku and Cell are the one where they're at a standstill and they're talking about it.
Perfect Cell, but yeah, not super perfect.
Yeah, but it still applies to him. We're talking about Cell.
But I already explained to you, sweating doesn't equate to you not having infinite stamina, because we see characters in Dragon Ball such as Android 17 and 18 who do have infinite stamina confirmed. We still see them sweat, but that doesn't mean that they don't have infinite stamina. And then the Daizenshuu is confirming that Cell has the infinite energy reactor as well and can use it as well. Therefore, he has infinite stamina, and sweating means nothing. That's my argument.
Well, I'm just going to post the scan, and then we can move on from there. Sound good? Hello? Am I audible?
I heard you.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to post it, and yeah, we can move on from there if you'd like.
Yeah.
Not
So you
sure
posted a scan of him sweating, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear my reputation that sweating doesn't
I heard it. I heard it. Just I wanted to post it just so you don't think I'm lying.
Okay, so do you agree that Cell has infinite stamina?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, okay, so you were talking about why Dabura is massively stronger than Gohan after their fight. Go ahead.
Massively stronger. It was kind of hard to hear that last part.
You said Gohan. I mean, you said Dabura was stronger than Gohan after their initial fight, their fight in general. So, like, I want you to prove that he was suppressed at all and that he was stronger at all. So that essentially puts him as relative.
So, we'll go with what was said. We can literally go with what was said.
Yeah, it was stated. Yeah, show me the statement.
So I'm gonna get you two. There's actually two of them now that I remember.
Okay, cool. I'll just be chilling.
There's this one.
You posted it in scans?
Yeah, it's loading. There's the one where Bobby starts asking him, "Hey, do you think you could take this guy out?" And then
I know exactly. Yep. I already have a equal interpretation to this statement. So when he's saying it won't be hard to dispose of him, it doesn't have to be in reference to physical stats. It could be in reference to the fact that all he needs to do is get close to Gohan and just stone spit him in his face, and then he turns into stone, and then boom, easily disposed of right there. Doesn't have to be inherently about their physical stats.
Well, we know that's not. We'll call it. I'm trying to think of the word. That's not at all what it's referring to. It's referring to the fact it would be, mainly down to a brawl because Gohan knows about his stone spit ability. Would you agree or disagree?
The ability that doesn't mean he can counter it. Gohan, you realize Gohan would have been hit by the stone spit if. I'm talking.
It's a question.
What? What question?
I'm asking a question. What do you think dodging it? Does that not count as countering? He'd be able to get an opening on Dabura.
What? Gohan. Okay, let me get back to what I was saying because you interrupted me and ruined my train of thought real quick. So what occurred was that Gohan, the stone spit Dabura used against Gohan, it doesn't matter if he knows about it or not because he knew about it beforehand before he fought Dabura, and the stone spit nearly hit him in the face, and if it wasn't because he got warned and yelled at by the Supreme Kai, he would have been killed by that attack. Therefore, even if you know the attack, you can still get killed by it and still get off guarded by it. Therefore, my interpretation that it's in reference to stone spit, an equal interpretation, is still valid and does not mean it's referring to physical stats.
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Yeah. It's. I think through the equal interpretation that it doesn't have to be referring to physical stats. I don't think you can prove it's referring to physical stats. And either way, even if you won that point, it's not referring to physical stats for whatever. I mean that it is referring to physical stats. I don't think you can quantify. I don't think you can prove it's a massive amount or a significant amount. So that's my secondary point. If my equal interpretation doesn't get off, but yeah. Anything else you have to say?
Yeah, I feel like that covers just about everything as far as I know off the top of my head.
Well, so I'll get into my cell scaling real quick. And then we could just ramp up the bit with that.
I mean, we could literally wrap it up right here. You briefly
I need
touched
to scale
upon it, and
cell.
I already know.
Not like what?
Like, I'm pretty sure we went over like all the most of the important stuff. Now this is just like, you know.
Yeah, but I need to scale cell. Are you trying to tell me I'm not supposed to scale my character? Is that what you're
I
trying
never
to tell me
said
right
that.
now? Okay,
That's not
so
what
then
I
I'm
said.
going
Is
to
that what I
scale
said?
my character. Thank you very
Is
much.
that what I said though?
No, you're implying that. That's what you're implying?
Okay, just so we're on the same page.
Okay, so I'm scaling cell. Cool.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna get my skins together.
I can't. Bro, this shit is too funny. No way, bro. So cracked. He going crazy. Legend in his head. Legend in his head, bro.
Okay, just give me like 2 seconds.
Bro, this motherfucker's like, you telling me I can't scale my character? Oh my god. Let me scale my fucking character. Oh my god, I'm fucking queasing, bro. This man taking forever to find his arguments, huh?
Okay, let's go. I'll post them right
this
now.
is so much.
Okay, so first I want to start off with the fact that it's stated in Daizenshuu that when Cell came back to life, he became the strongest being on Earth, right? Which would include Gohan. Therefore, Super Perfect Cell is stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Kid Gohan.
So, I'm glad that you brought that up because in the story, it would be referring to when he first arrived there. And guess what state Gohan's in?
Super Saiyan 2.
Super Saiyan 1. You see that?
Where does it say Super Saiyan 1?
Come on, Soul, look in scans.
Wait, hold on. So it shows he shows in his Super Saiyan 1 form, right? So when Super Saiyan 1 yeah, I'm gonna explain why that doesn't matter. Because when a character, when a statement is made about character's power, it's referring to their maximum power. It's when we see Daizenshuu statements, they're referring to their maximum power. So even if he is in his Super Saiyan 1 form, it would also include him in his Super Saiyan 2 form. And that would make the most sense because we also see Cell is confident in killing Gohan as well. So that wouldn't make sense if he's confident to kill him unless he was somewhat on the same tier of power. Makes no sense. So that's why my interpretation of it is saying it would include all of Gohan's latent power inside of him, even if he's not in the current form. Because that's like saying, right? When it says like, oh, Beerus in that one movie guy says, oh, he's the strongest of all the enemies. He's only stronger than them in their lower forms, but not their final forms. Like that wouldn't make sense. We would take it to all their maximum forms and all their max strength, which is how the statement should be interpreted. I don't think we should just limit it to that. But yeah.
Yeah, I say that because contextually that's how he shows up, and that's how what is shown with Gohan, with what form he's in.
Yeah, but I already gave reputation of why it would include him in the Super Saiyan 2 form regardless.
And even if you want to go with this, the statements that you had posted, EML would basically have the contrary position on this.
A contrary prediction.
Contrary position, yeah.
Yeah. Like, where does it say that Cell's weaker than Gohan?
I mentioned it before. It was the fact. Yeah, it was the fact that it was like the beam struggle, this and that.
Yeah, can you show me though where it's stated? I don't remember the statement.
Yeah. Says it's loading up. It should be a moment. There you go. It's the one underneath the Gohan picture with Goku.
So, what's the translation to this?
So basically, it goes on to say, Cell, with power that he's never had, launches a Kamehameha with all of his strength, and after that it says, with one arm broken, and basically it goes on to say, with one arm broken, and it's basically unusable.
Yeah. So, could you give me a translation?
And with less than half his power, yeah, of course.
Could you give me a translation though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you provide it?
Yeah, I'm getting it really quick.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Thank God, because I remember when Hybrids bodied you on your translations. Jesus Christ, man.
Interesting. Luckily, there's more to come.
There we go. This is just off Google.
Google?
Yeah.
Do you have a credible translator?
I can get like Oxford, I can get like Cambridge. Which one do you want?
Yeah, I would prefer Oxford, if that's okay.
It's Oxford, yeah. Alright. Okay. So there's this one. That's Oxford, by the way.
Got something. A Cell with more power than ever launches a Kamehameha with all his might, with his left arm disabled and less than half his energy. Gohan thought he couldn't do anything against him, but okay. What is his proof?
But then the contrary happens. We see him overpowering him in the end.
That's not. You realize that only occurred because he got helped by Goku and Vegeta, which is stated, right?
Whether, yeah, like that doesn't change.
Oh, wait. So do you agree that he would have lost at half power against Cell if he didn't get help from Goku and Vegeta?
So the thing with that, he was slowly overpowering him, sure.
No, not at all. Cell was dominating that whole beam clash before Goku and Vegeta helped him. It was literally in Gohan's face. He was gonna get killed blatantly.
Could you show a scan of that, please?
That's fine. Sure, no problem. One sec. So I'm going to provide two statements real quick. One from Piccolo and so right here, so when they're both initially shooting the Ki Blast, it says it's no good, he can't win, Gohan's chi is too weak. So here's half power Gohan, who's already stated, right, saying that he can't, by Piccolo, that he can't even win. So Cell should scale above because of that statement. And then what we see, right, is that the Kamehameha wave is so close to Gohan, and he's being severely overpowered, and he's going to get killed. And then the reason why Gohan even won, which is stated in L manga, was because Vegeta distracted him, and that lowered Cell's guard. And I'm gonna post that as well. One sec.
Craven bodies.
Bro, this is gonna be crazy. So low key, like putting in mad work. I don't know if he's gonna listen to this far in, but Soul is putting pressure on.
Just to know, just to let you know ahead of time, so I am gonna have to do some things in a little bit. So,
okay, I'll make myself quick, no problem. Right here in El Manga, translated by Deep L and by Oscar. It confirmed Vegeta's reaction is also noteworthy, who in the end, putting out his strength, throws the key attack at Cell. It was a great contribution as it got Cell to lower his guard. So they defined this as a main factor of why Gohan even won, because he lowered Cell's guard, and that's why the attack killed him, because he was off-guarded, not because Gohan skills to Cell. So Cell's able to casually beat up a half-power Gohan in a beat struggle.
Yeah, half-powered.
Yeah, but I'm going to explain why he actually skilled.
Is that representative of his full power?
But that doesn't matter. I'm going to show why.
Of course it does.
I'm gonna explain why it doesn't matter. One sec.
All right, you can go. You can go.
Yeah, so the current here. Yeah, I'm sure you're aware how Cell literally disabled Gohan's arm with one basic ki blast while not at full power. So with that what this feat shows is that Cell not at full power is able to highly damage Gohan, which in his Super Saiyan 2 form, which supports the fact that of the other Daisentry statement that is referring to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, even though he's in his Super Saiyan 1 form. So if I'm able to fucking disable your arm with one attack, ultra casually, not at full power, I have to be high end relative to you or just straight up above you. So that's my initial point with the feat.
But do you think that this Gohan was at all at his full power?
Yes, absolutely. Why would he not be at full power?
That would presuppose that he is. Can you
No. You're not. I don't think you understand, right? The default is if you're trying to kill your opponent, if you're bloodthirsty like Gohan is, you are at full power by default. So it'll be your burden to prove that he's not at full power. Because why would he not be at full power and trying to save Vegeta and tank the attack for Vegeta? It makes no sense. Why would he take that risk? Why would he put himself in that type of position? Why would he lower himself so much to the point where he's going to get disabled from a basic ki blast? Makes absolutely no sense unless he was already at full power initially, which he was, because it's actually stated he was at full power. I'll give you that scan as well.
So you're trying to equate it to someone using their ki flares up and their
No, that's not what I said at all. Never said that.
So it sounds like a little bit.
Okay, well, I don't... correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. Did I say ki flare? I don't think I said that at all.
No, I'm saying that.
Yeah, so I didn't say that. So I don't know why you're strawmanning me like that.
Yo.
So, yeah, can we focus on what I said? Please? I would appreciate
Yes.
that.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So what I said, right, is that the default is a character's at full power until proven otherwise. So what's the evidence that Gohan wasn't at full power?
So one would have to say that Gohan isn't stated to be at full power, therefore
one shouldn't have stated that I'm at full power to be at full power. Like Vegeta and Goku in a ton of power trying to.
Assumption.
No, Legend, that's not how that works. Because if we come to that conclusion, like say Super Saiyan Blue Evolution versus Jiren, and then I say Jiren scales above Blue Evolution because he beat him, and then you say, oh, do you know he was at full power? And then obviously he's at full power if he's trying to beat him in a fight. Like no offense, but that's literally dishonest to say that a character isn't full power if they're trying to kill their opponent. I don't understand that. Gohan was trying to kill Cell. He was trying to save his friend from death. Why would he not be at full power to do that? Why would he not be at max speed? You're coming with this random conclusion that's less likely to be the case, and initially, right, you still have to be there's no evidence that he was significantly suppressed at all. Because if he really was that suppressed, right, he wouldn't even go Super Saiyan 2 at all. I don't see why he would if he's just not gonna be at full power. It makes no sense to me. That's my stance on that. I will show you the statement that says he was full power initially.
Okay, feel free whenever you want.
Yeah, I'll post it right. 1 sec.
Bro, this is a slaughter. I feel bad because the legend hasn't won a single point.
Okay, you agree, right? Actually, I'll make my point that when I post this scan.
Man.
Yeah. So what it says is that Gohan at last unleashes his full power. He defeats the Cell Juniors. Okay. So my reasoning, right, is that if he went full power against opponents and then one-shots them, there's no reason why he wouldn't go full power and try to kill Cell. If he actively wants to, because he did not. The Cell Juniors are really weak, yet he still went full power against them. So Cell, who came back stronger, as stated, is still a threat, right? Therefore, he would go full power as well, just like he did against the Cell Juniors.
So, I see the scan that you posted, and from what I was informed on what Herms had to say, it's actually a mistranslation.
Okay, show me. What, can you show me that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it ready for you.
What? Okay, I don't think it's a mistranslation. Like, what is it supposed to say? I guess I should ask.
Yeah, I can get you it. One sec. Basically, this is from like
it also even says Gohan.
one of them.
Okay, so you got that scan that says Gohan goes all out. Okay, interesting. Okay.
Well, I'm using it as an example, just so this is like his older.
Yeah, so like, that's just two statements right there saying you went all out.
Well, well, it's an older statement from when Herm started translating.
Okay.
And he even admits that he made
just show me.
mistakes
Yeah,
before.
just show me.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it. I'm trying to get it.
Just show me. Yeah.
Just show me, nigga. So's a demon. I'm gonna refill my water. I don't know about this. Y'all some bunch of broke boys. Boy, broke boy. I get to hear this tapping.
It's loading up, so give it a second.
Like hydroflascular device, you know.
Okay, so here's the kanji for it, and I'm gonna. Here's the picture, and then I'm gonna Sorry about that. Sorry, it's sending in two of them.
Oh, did you hear what I just said?
Sorry.
Oh, that's what is that?
Well, it's a picture, and then there's a description underneath it.
Yeah, but that's not part of the scan. That's a notepad.
Look here, here you go. That's literally like on the side of it.
Let me see.
Okay, what does that translate to?
And then I'll get you the translations.
Okay.
I don't know how this lines up.
So, since it is, the question would be like, what would you consider proper translation? Since you want to go with translation.
The official translation, yeah.
The official translation, you said?
Yes. No. The one that I just showed you, the official translation. Yeah.
Well, since you agreed that you're using Oxford and Deep L, I don't see how these would be.
Whoa. Whenever I use Deep L, right, those are for things that are like in original Japanese or Spanish. What I just showed you was the English version of the same scan translated. That's not the same thing.
True, tell them.
There you go. That's what Oxford has to say since you're using them, of course.
Releases all his power. Basically the same thing. Okay.
And then here's another one if you want to, be ultra pedantic about it. Here's the Deep L.
At what he's trying to prove here, he's just agreeing with Soul.
So basically, what you just showed me is that
he's releasing all his
power.
Just
said he releases all his power.
He releases all of his power, but that doesn't entail that he's at full power.
What? What is release all your power? Okay, I think you want to be semantical with the wording, but what does release all your power mean in this context, Leslie? Let me ask you that question.
When they're referring to Gohan, he unleashes the Super Saiyan 2 power, I presume.
No, I don't think so. It's referring...
And the raid as well.
Wait, it's referring to him being at full power, and that's what the interpretation should be, based on the official translation. And what this translation, which is not official, is basically referring to that as well. He's just not saying full power, he's just saying release all his power. To release all my power, I have to be at full power. And since it doesn't say anything about the Super Saiyan 2 form, they're referring to his power in general. And he's releasing that in that moment. Therefore, it would still be at full power when he's getting freaking arms shattered by Cell.
But yeah, so if you want to go talk about Gohan, you understand what happens when Gohan gets goes on a power trip. You understand what happens?
He kills all the Cell Juniors. Yeah, I know.
Not only that, but he becomes a cocky fuck. Remember that?
Yeah, what? Yeah. Actually, that fits in with my next point. But I don't want to move on. So just so are you done talking, or do you have another thing to say?
Yeah, not only that, but he becomes super fucking cocky, becomes a sadistic person, and
why does becoming cocky mean he's not at full power?
as it would suggest, you are overly confident in your
that's not
ability.
true. Vegeta has been at full power in his fights before and still acted cocky. Therefore, Gohan can as well.
No, so I'm specifically referring to.
What? Are you saying that's not true?
I'm saying that doesn't pertain with what I'm saying about Gohan.
Okay, so what are you trying to say about Gohan? That because he's cocky, he's not at full power?
Essentially.
Why?
What do you think?
Why?
What do you think?
You can't prove that. You haven't proven that. Being cocky doesn't mean you're not at full power. That's stupid logic.
Yeah, so I was also going to say, I'm going to bring up another Gohan.
In all of Dragon Ball, even while cocky, you can be at full power. What you just provided me of him being cocky doesn't prove he's not at full power.
Interrupting him when he's going on these talks. You know, he was trying to make a point.
Okay.
Right, you can go, Legend.
Yeah, like, you know, if you want to steamroll, that's cool, but, you know, I'm going to try to say what I'm going to try to say before.
But go ahead.
So, I'll bring up another example. So, remember when Gohan goes to fight...
example?
No. I'm supporting it.
So you're supporting your example for no example?
Pertaining with Gohan, right?
Okay, go ahead.
It has to do with Gohan. So, remember when he was fighting Majin Buu? Super Buu, sorry?
Mm-hmm.
That by no means tells me that he was at full power. He was literally fucking around with him. He was taunting him and punching him and kicking him.
Why isn't he at full power?
He doesn't see... He wants to basically make Majin Buu suffer. That's basically the whole narrative behind
His goal was to kill Majin Buu, was it not? He literally said, I will kill you, Buu. That's what he said.
Eventually. But he doesn't immediately do it.
No, that's not what... No, you added on words... No, I'm talking now, though. I'm talking now. He says, I will kill you, Boo. He doesn't say, I will kill you eventually. You added on words, changing up the sentence when that's not stated at all.
No. I think you're misinterpreting what I said. He says, I will kill you, yes, but he doesn't immediately go on to do so. He's taking his time. He's taking his time.
He's trying to. He's trying to kill him. That's what's happening.
And we don't see him, and we don't actually see Mr. Gohan go all out until he's fighting Buu tanks, and he realizes
he went all out the whole time when trying to beat up Super Buu. I don't know if it's because, and that evidence is because he's trying to kill him blatantly. It's like, and the reason why he's not killing him immediately is because Buu has regeneration, and he keeps healing back every time Gohan does severe damage. But that's why he didn't kill him, because it's his regeneration.
So, if you want to talk about regeneration, you realize that doesn't matter if you realize if a character is stronger than said character that has regeneration. You know, the whole thing behind that is you can kill him regardless if you have regeneration or not.
Not with
the
Buu.
Not Buu.
Not with Buu. Buu, you cannot kill Buu with like punches and kicks. You need to use Ki Blast to destroy every single atom. So Buu can be weaker than you and still regenerate from you. Regenerate in general, because if you don't kill every part of his atoms, he will come back continuously. Doesn't matter how much stronger you are, he will come back because of that reason.
I think y'all should conclude this point, and then so you can do your little Cell Junior thing, because I know that's what's next, and then y'all should conclude the debate.
I actually got it down pretty soon.
You want me to actually?
I don't think you just move on to your Cell Junior thing, because I know that's what's coming next, and then y'all can conclude the entire debate.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, to conclude the point, Gohan would be on full power, because he's actively trying to kill Cell, and he says that, and then he was full power initially, so there's no reason why he wouldn't be full power anymore when he's taking the attack from Cell that disables his arm and lowers his power significantly when trying to save Vegeta. And that attack was from a suppressed Ki Blast that wasn't even meant for Cell, which would show that Cell is high in relative or above Gohan, and therefore, the statement that was made about him being the strongest when he came back to life would include Gohan in his Super Saiyan 2 form, because that was what's shown. And then, another factor is, Cell was already above half power Gohan casually. He was easily overpowering him, was going to kill him. He accepted that. And therefore, Cell would scale to Gohan or above, at the very minimum. Go ahead, Legend.
So, The thing I wanted to conclude on this point was I think Soul's missing the entire point of what Gohan's character is whenever he receives a massive amp in Z anyway. So basically what happens is he goes on this crazy power trip. Gohan doesn't immediately want to kill the opponent. He wants to make them suffer. He wants to humiliate them and basically demoralize them. And that's what I've been showing here with the scans.
You're done?
And then there's one more that's about to come up.
Wait, what?
He has one more scan to prove his
point. Yeah, I have one more scan.
I thought we were concluding.
Yeah, he is concluding. He just...
Yeah, I just need to...
Oh, okay. Point, okay. That's fine.
Oh, someone call a doctor. This is a slaughter.
Alright, there we go. Alright, so, yeah, I think that about covers what I said.
Okay, so I just have two things I want to go over, and then we can conclude the whole debate. Do you think Super Perfect Cell is stronger than Adult Gohan?
Adult Gohan with or without the Rage Boost?
Then yeah, the Adult Gohan that Dabura fought, that Gohan. Do you think that Gohan can beat Super Perfect Cell?
I would venture to say yes.
You think Cell can beat that Gohan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if I won the point that Gohan and Dabura are relative, and since you think Cell can beat Adult Gohan, he will be able to beat Dabura. And then now we'll just talk. What I cut out? What I said was that since you agree,
your volume was kind of off.
Oh. So what I said was that if you think Cell can beat that Adult Gohan, and if I won the point that Adult Gohan and Dabura are relative to each other, therefore Cell would beat Dabura due to that, since you agreed. If I won that point, yeah. So after that, I'll just talk about the Cell Juniors. Cell can create 7 of them, all relative to him in power.
Okay, you want to get into that?
Yeah, sure. He can create 7 of them, and just like no time at all. Therefore, they can all be useful for distractions, and if they are sharpened in the board, and if Cell is sharpened in the board, they would all be sharpened in the board as well. Therefore, they would just all overwhelm and kill the board.
So, when we talk about a versus battle, this is mainly just a 1v1. I don't know if you're aware of that. No outside help.
Maybe I didn't make that clear, but he's creating them. He's not summoning them. It's not as if Goku's just teleporting to freaking Beerus planet, bringing Beerus to Earth to beat up the opponent. He's literally biology creating them out of, like, he's just spawning them out.
But by definition, that's what the battle specifies.
What? So wait. Using that logic, then if I were to do an inverse Naruto debate, that you're telling me Pain can't use the other paths of Pain to help him in a fight, even though that's his ability.
Well, he's not creating them. Like mid-fight, he's there with him. So that's just analogous.
No, that's not how that works. He literally creates them.
Also, which Pain are you referring to? Nagato or like the
Naruto Pain? Yes, Naruto.
Please don't go into this shit. It has nothing to do with this, bro.
The point is, he's biology creating the Cell Juniors, and they're basically just like clones of him. He's just making clones.
Yeah, whether or not like he's creating them mid battle or he starts off with them is like irrelevant. Outside help is outside help.
That's not outside help.
Yes, he is. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's just using your ability.
It is.
Because that using that logic, using any cloning technique is outside help, but it's not.
I think I should search up the definition of outside help so you can get this a little bit faster.
I will get the
versus battle wiki, or just the literal definition.
Versus battle wiki.
Okay, I guess give me that real quick. Also, I don't have to go into like the Kamehameha wave, just amping your power 2.5 times, do I?
So, me and you agreed. Cell Juniors, that's it. And then we're done. Because this has been going on for a little too long.
I'm just saying, you know what? Fair enough.
I'm trying to see where they have it on this damn website.
Wait, so let me ask you a quick question, Legend. So when we're doing a versus battle, where does it say that I can't use Cell Juniors?
It's basically specified, if memory serves, it's specified just a strictly 1v1. No outside help, no summonings, no
Wait.
raiding clones in
Is that
mid-battle.
in SPA?
Yes.
We didn't agree to SPA.
It's usually assumed unless stated otherwise.
No. That implies that it's the default. Can you prove it's the default?
Sorry?
You prove it is the default that whenever I say I'm doing this character versus this character, it's in following SPA. Can you prove that?
So with that, yes. So when we talk about, like, I don't know, if we're talking about like an inverse thing or an a cross-verse thing, we would be taking both of the characters like they have no knowledge about each other.
Yeah, but I'm asking you to prove that. You didn't prove that.
Yeah, so I'll do exactly that. So
Yeah.
when we have these
SPA
conversations,
must be false. Yes.
you said it must be false. You're confusing.
No, I said prove that SPA must be followed. Yeah, I'm actually
Must be
prove that.
followed.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
say that I have to do SBA if I don't specify otherwise. Prove that. That's what I'm asking you.
So when we're talking about a versus battle, what we tend to think is
No. I'm not what tend to other people think. I don't want you to appeal to popularity. I want you to prove it.
I'm not saying in virtue of everyone thinking this, so you're
Okay, then
strawmanning
why
me.
did
I'm
you
going to use
mention
your
it if it's
favorite
not
word.
something
I'm going to
you
use
see
your favorite word. I'm going to use your favorite word, Sol. I'm not strawmanning you, okay?
I never said you were strawmanning. What are you? What? That's so stupid. Like, I'm not claiming you strawman me. Like, what are you saying?
No, I'm saying
Are
you
you gonna
did.
prove it or
I'm
not?
saying you did.
So you're not
Sorry?
going to prove it.
Yo. Alright, so listen. If Soul won the Cell over the board point, the Cell Juniors honestly don't matter. It's just insult to injury. So it really doesn't matter about the Cell Juniors or not. So I think y'all should just conclude the debate.
Yeah, but we are
Doesn't
discussing if we're following SBA because we're not following SBA.
I know, but this has to do with the Cell Juniors, which really doesn't matter if you got Cell that much over the board anyway. It's just insult to injury if you get what I'm saying. So it really doesn't matter.
I want them as extra support, really.
Okay, but Soul, it's just like putting Soul on somebody's like fucking stab wound. It really
Okay,
doesn't.
fine. Cell has Kaioken times 20. That's my last.
Okay.
So Cell would just speed blitz in one shot.
Is it in character for him to do that,
But
though?
we're not following in character. Because you haven't fulfilled the burden that we have to follow SBI. Therefore, I'm saying Cell use Kaioken times 20 and beats his ass. Yeah, that's what I'm claiming.
Do you want to just move on? Is there anything
Are you
else?
accepting that Cell would beat him up with Kaioken times 20?
Am I contesting it? Is that what you're asking? It's kind of hard to hear you.
Well, yes, Legend. Are you contesting the fact that Cell will be using Kaioken times 20 in this battle and kill Dabura?
Yeah, because it's never shown.
What? He has Kaioken. Do you want me to prove he has Kaioken?
Yeah, but has he ever shown doing it?
Soul was saying y'all are not going by SBA, and because of that, Cell would he wouldn't have to do it in character. He's saying because he has it and y'all aren't going by SBA, he's just gonna Kaioken and blitz. That's what Soul's saying.
Yeah, I guess we can go with that, sure. Since I technically didn't bring it up, which was probably my fault.
So you concede?
I would have to.
Okay, I accept your concession.
Alright. That was a good debate. I'm sure Legend has important things.